It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
You're good, man.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Charleston Southern's baseball assistant coach, Anthony Izzio. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brandon, man. I appreciate you having me on. Obviously excited to, get to talk a little Charleston Southern baseball with you. It's always a good time to be able to talk Charleston Southern ball whenever I get the chance. So excited to do that today with you.
Can you talk about your coaching experience?
Yeah, as far as coaching experience goes, coached in junior college for 5 years and then got the opportunity at Tulane University last year to go on and get to work with the staff that I was fortunate enough to work with there. And then obviously coming here, with Coach Mack and this staff, just excited to be a part of this thing and get this thing off the ground and running like I know we will. And just excited. Coaching's been my dream my whole life, pretty much ever since I was a player, just to kind of dive in and be able to help student athletes and help them with their recruitment process and just kind of be the light for them and their families moving forward for kids to live their dreams. So for me to be able to do that on a daily basis is something that, I've just been really fortunate to be able to do.
Can you talk about your experience at Tulane?
Yeah, my experience at Tulane was a unique one. Obviously being able to coach hitters when I was at Tulane, being a pitcher my whole life, to be able to take over, help with the hitters, I should say, with Coach Travis Jewett and Jay Ullman, was just something that, you can't put a price tag on the knowledge that those guys were able to, pass along to me as far as the offensive side of the ball goes, and then being able to work with outfielders and being fortunate enough to handle Hudson Haskins and Ty Johnson and Logan Stevens and guys like that on a daily basis. Just being around a lot of really good makeup and character kids was fortunate, on my coaching career to just be, develop me not only as a person, but as a coach as well. But I think that was the biggest thing at Tulane, passed along to me, was just the knowledge and the opportunity to be a part of what I classify elite program in the country.
Can you talk about your experience at Pearl River Community College?
Pearl River's near and dear to my heart, something that, I'll never forget. Obviously having the opportunity that I had to coach under Coach Michael Avalon, who is still the head coach at Pearl River Community College now, is one of my mentors, just an absolute great person, still my best friend. We still talk pretty regularly, and to be able to have the put Pearl River back on the map, to get that tradition back rolling again as one of the better teams in junior college in the country. I can't say enough about it, and just being able to be around junior college players for so long, and just being able to recruit them and to be able to help develop. I think that's the biggest thing in junior college, especially in the state of Mississippi, that people don't talk about as much. You only get 4 out-of-state spots in the state of Mississippi as far as the recruitment goes. So you need to be able to be able to compete at such a high level on the national stage in junior college. It's tough, and the kids that we were able to bring in, families that we were able to bring in at Pearl River, man, I can't say enough about them. I love those kids and their families to death. I always will. And just even when I took this job, just the reach out that I had as far as those kids and their families, the thank yous and even I love. So then just being a coach, it's just being able to touch people as a person and being able to, love and care for these kids. And I think Pearl River was a kind of a stepping stone for me with that, was being able to develop in such a short amount of time was something that I'll always cherish.
Can you talk about what you plan to achieve as you're just now starting the Charleston Southern job?
Yeah, I think the thing coaches always want to do is win a championship, there's not and for us here, just with the staff that we brought in, and that's our main goal. That's what we've been preaching to these guys since they walked on campus is, your sights and your goals need to be put on winning a championship of some sorts. And Omaha is obviously the main goal for every school that sets out, but obviously winning a Big South championship, there's a lot of really good teams in this league, a lot of really well coached ball clubs, and just being able to kind of go out there and compete and trying to make our own mark on this conference and get CSU out in the public eye and kind of get some publicity as far as this program goes in a positive light as far as wins and losses is something that we're going to stress and we want to do. Ultimately, we want to be leader of men and want to grow these kids, not just as players. We want to. I'm real big on person first, player second. So, just the opportunity that we have that Mr. Barber has let us, come in here and take over this program and try to get it on the map, and that's what we're here to do, and those are our expectations.
Can you talk about in the recruitment process, how hard was it knowing that you are just rebuilding the program right now?
I wouldn't say it was hard. I would say the times make it tough with not being able to get out and see players and be able to kind of just see them in their own element. I think that's the one thing in recruiting that a lot of college baseball coaches like to be out and see is just how kids react to certain adversities, how they handle certain game situations, and not being able to do that was kind of I would say would have been the toughest part of the recruitment process. I think kids nowadays, especially with Charleston Southern baseball starting to be out in the open, is some kids like the challenge, and some kids want to be a part of the rebuild and want to be a part of making something, not just making something big, but just making memories and being able to be look back on this thing 10 years from now and we go, you know what, I was the one that bought into it and wanted to be there and see this thing take off. So I think that's been a good thing for us. Just relationships are so key in the recruitment process, and we've been able to form a lot of them in such a small period of time since we've been here, and just the excitement that we have with the kids that we've had committed and the kids that we brought in, and obviously our returners here has been really well received, and I can't tell you how excited I am for the future of this program.
Can you talk about in the recruitment process what it was like during the coronavirus?
It was tough. It still is tough. Obviously with us being in the dead period, not being able to have visits and just have families on campus to make decisions and kind of only just in the world of recruiting right now is just basically video and relationships with coaches, which I think are an utmost importance even in the moment where to go out. Is just kind of talk to their coaches, talk to their high school coaches who are around them every day, and just kind of get their thoughts on the makeup and character of these young men. And it's difficult, but it's difficult. It's more difficult if you just don't know what the right questions to ask and you don't trust the people that you're communicating with. And I think that's one thing we've been fortunate, man. There's been such a great outreach as far as coaches that want to see this program be successful, but also are just open and honest. And that's the one thing I'm looking for, especially as recruiting coordinators. Just tell me the truth. Just give me the facts and let me know like what we're diving into as far as the makeup and the character of these young men. And because at the end of the day, that's what's important to us is what type of person they are first and foremost.
Can you talk about what you're looking at when you go out to recruit?
I think like everybody, athletic, toolsy players, I guess is the word for it. And for me, I think the biggest thing at the end of the day that I really stress is just how's the conversation? How does the kid handle himself on the phone? How does the kid treat his parents? How does the kid walk? Does he walk with a confidence, but not too much to where it's like it makes the kid and put himself in a situation where it's like he thinks he's better than what he claims to be. It's just I think at the end of the day you got to sit there and evaluate different parts of your program and what you want in it, and then be able to evaluate the kid that way. And for me, like I keep stressing, it's person first. You get the right people and you get the right family in a program and you get them to gel together, I'm telling you, man, that's a tough thing to beat, because at the end of the day for us, makeup and character are going to take over and win you more games than they lose.
Can you talk about your playing career and what you achieved in your playing career?
I'm a junior college guy, I guess would be a junior college bandit. JUCO bandit would be the terms that everybody kind of goes with these days. Obviously played at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College for 2 years, and then was fortunate enough to be able to go to the University of South Alabama and compete with some guys that I'll always cherish the memories that we had. And we were able to go to a regional at Mississippi State University in 2013 and compete for it out in the regional in Starkville. And it was a life-changing experience for me. And I wasn't the most talented guy on the team, but the one thing that you could always count on me was I was going to give you everything I had daily. And I kind of passed that along to my daily life. Is just, at the end of the day, there's got to be positivity. There's always got to be a light at the end of the tunnel, and you got to pass that on step for step, especially these young men. And baseball was just kind of that outlet and that avenue that kind of created that for me.
When you got recruited, and you're now a recruiter, how did you change your recruiting style? Did you use some of the tools that, for example, the coach that recruited you used?
Yeah, and the program that I was able to be recruited by, the personal relationships that were created throughout that recruitment were life-changing. I was able to create relationships with my coaches, and I still do. I still talk to those guys to this day and want nothing but the best for that program and just appreciate everything that it stands for and the tradition that it created and just the men that have become from that university in itself, is what I want to do moving forward. I think at the end of the day, if you can touch and impact lives as a coach, those are the things that matter more than anything, especially to me right now with everything going on with this pandemic. And kids just want to have fun, man. They want to be able to have an outlet to go to, and they want to have coaches that they can communicate with and get positive from. And I think those are things for me that I stress every day. Is like, hey, let's find the positive in what we're doing. Let's find the positive in your bullpen today and your throwing program today and PFPs. Let's find the positive in those, because negativity and negative outcomes are going to come at some point. That's just the game of baseball. It's just treated like life. So, the one thing I think you're going to get out of me every day, and especially in the recruitment process, is I'm going to be there. I'm willing to communicate. I want to stay positive in everything that we talk about and just be kind of the outlet for the kids.
What advice would you give upcoming high school athletes looking to get recruited to the next level?
Be open-minded. Be open-minded. There's so many good schools out there and so many really, really good in this country, man. And I think the thing is, don't just be one track mind and I got to play Division I baseball. I'm above junior college. I'm above D3. I'm above D2. That can't be the case. I think the coolest thing that I've seen on social media is just how many really good programs there are at every different level, and just how many programs there are out there today that win at a high level and have guys that go play in Major League Baseball. I don't think it should just be, Division I or bust. Like I said, I can't speak enough about junior college baseball. I think it's the coaches that take the time to be able to invest in those players and develop them. It's something you can't put a price tag on. And I feel the same way about, other divisions as far as D3, D2. There's a lot of really great coaches out there, and I think you just need to be open-minded and willing to look at the pack itself instead of just, the Division I logo. Obviously, people are probably like, well, coaches, you coach at a Division I program. Why would you say that? Well, at the end of the day, man, you got to give advice to these kids that's going to benefit them in the long run, and not just that, their families. These families are making commitments, with these young men, and at the end of the day, whether you want to believe it or not, it impacts them not just for the next 4 years, but for the rest of their life. And you have to be willing to, in my opinion, take away the wants of what exactly you would like out of that player, and just be like, man, this may not be a good fit for you. This may be a better one financially. And those are tough conversations to have. But for me, if you keep doing things the right, keep giving people the right advice, at the end of the day, I think good things happen to good people. So that would be kind of some advice I would give to the future recruits.
What advice would you have to upcoming college coaches looking to get into the profession?
Just listen, man. Just listen as much as you can. You know, I've been very fortunate to be around a lot of really, really knowledgeable coaches, and the offices, the conversations that I've been able to sit in. I'm a pretty outgoing guy. I like to talk a lot, and just for instance, my time at Tulane, I would just go in a room and just listen to the coaches talk baseball and talk the recruiting process and talk you know, the ins and outs of the game. And you know, you just got to be able to step away and listen instead of talk, and be thankful. Be thankful. Pay your dues. You know, I think most importantly, there's going to come a time for younger coaches when they question, you know, whether they're going to get their shot and their opportunity to, you know, be that recruiting coordinator, that paid assistant, especially in Division I baseball. And I think if you're doing it the right way, and you're treating people with respect, and you're handling the kids in the right light, I think at the end of the day, like I said, you know, I can't say it enough. I think good things happen to really good people, and I'm a product of that. I think, you know, I've just been blessed to be around the people that I've been able to coach under, and just the student athletes that I've been able to cross paths with and be able to try to help and develop, you know, got me in this seat. And I won't take any credit for it. You know, the good Lord above obviously blessed me with this opportunity, and I'm going to take full advantage of it.
Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
They can find me on Twitter, Coach_is5. Obviously, Twitter page would be the same, Coach_is5.
Thank you again, Anthony, and best of luck at Charleston for the baseball program. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Anthony, for your interview, and best of luck
Thanks,
in
Brandon.
this upcoming season.
Thanks, buddy.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.